Let's see. And we are live, Kathi. So welcome to this live stream. Kathi Burns, you're a professional organizer and you have this amazing webinar coming up. And I love the title, Live a Muck-Free Method webinar, because this is all about getting organized and getting into the action mode, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking action.
Taking action. And I love you have this. You say you use 3 simple foundational principles: shift, simplify, and sustain. And now this feels kind of thought through. I feel like there must be a story behind this, why you do this.
Oh, absolutely. My life has led me down the path to becoming a professional organizer. I've had several careers. I'm a serial entrepreneur for starters. What I did in the past is I was a licensed U.S. Coast Guard boat captain. I delivered boats, and living on a boat, I realized the simplicity and the efficiency of living small. You can only have on a boat what you necessarily need, right? And when I got back to shore after doing several offshore, trips away, I would get to my apartment and realize I don't need any of this stuff. Like when I was out to sea, I didn't need any of it. And so I would go through a big purge process. And that was kind of the start of being an organizer that I didn't even know. Later, I went into the career of being a travel writer. And I was on the road 40 weeks a year, 40 to 42 weeks a year, traveling, not being home, living out of a suitcase, living small, being paid to be a professional tourist, which was awesome. But again, I realized that all the stuff that we think we need, we don't really need. I would get back to my home, realize I don't need any of this stuff, and I would start purging. So flash forward a few years later, I was always having great fun doing what I did. Obviously, I've had some amazing careers, but realizing that I really wasn't doing what my sole purpose was. And after going through 8 different careers in my life and in loving every one of them, I realized that what I most like to do is change. And I love change and I thrive on change. And after doing a lot of soul searching and losing one business shortly after 9/11, I had the time and the space to realize, what is it that I do? What is my gift that I can give to people that other people need? And that's the willingness and the ability to shift through change. I absolutely thrive on change, but I realize that a lot of people are really fearful of change. And so then I became a professional organizer, because guess what we do as organizers? We help people change, right? And we help people change through their external environment, and helping them begin to release and let go and realize that letting go and making shifts and making changes helps you to move forward into your full capacity as a human being. So that's why I really invented, after 18 years as a pro organizer, I realized that working one-on-one was, again, helping my clients, but not as much as I really could help my clients. So I created the Muk-Free Method to show people systems that they can do and help people shift on a much more massive basis. And really the Muk-Free Method is learning to, again, as you said, shift their life, simplify and sustain what they put into practice.
I really love that perspective of thinking on like getting organized, focusing on that's a good thing because you're changing, instead of you need to get organized because you have everything wrong. Like, it's such a positive and non-judgmental perspective. I love that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, really, if the easier that we can learn how to let go, the more we can flourish, because
Yeah.
change happens anyhow every day. And it's a question of, are you going to resist it and freak out and have sleepless nights over it? Or are you going to embrace the change and learn how to wrangle it into what you want it to become?
Yeah. And so a wise man that I once knew said that, I love this. He said, change is a prerequisite, I think that's the word, for life.
Yes.
Yes. If we don't, like, the only thing that doesn't change, like stuff that are dead, don't change, right?
Yeah.
Being alive means there will be change, and still so many of us fear it. And we need to embrace change if we are to grow and if we are to build a business.
And be happy about it. because
Yeah.
if you resist it, and he's totally right. The only thing that doesn't change is stuff that's dead.
Yes.
So you can either ride the flow and create the change that you want to create, right? Or you can resist it, be sad, be mad, be verklempt, not able to sleep. You know, a lot of my clients are unable to sleep because they just can't face the changes that are happening in their life. Or most importantly, taking control and
Yeah.
changing the way they want to change.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen anyhow. It's just whether it
Right.
happens to you or whether it happens for you and with you.
Right. And so you might as well just go into the change and like steer the direction of it, and be proactive. So tell us about the webinar that you have coming up.
I'm so very excited about it. It is a way for people to kind of discover and uncover what might be holding them back. So this webinar is free. There's no sales pitch. There's nothing to buy on it. It's just basically kind of open up your mind on where you might be stuck and where you might want to remove the blocks to help yourself move forward.
Mhm.
And so I talk about, you know, why change is important, how you can work through change, what you need to do to shift, what you need to do to simplify, and how you can sustain the things that you've implemented. And if it sounds like something that's groovy and you want to go further, you can, and you can, you know, book a chat with me and ask me more questions, but there's nothing to buy. So you don't need a credit card to join in. It's free actually anyhow. And it's not really a sales pitch. It's more about an exploratory session to see, are you where you want to be? Do you feel like you're stuck in some areas? Is there something that you need to overcome to move forward? Are you happy where you are? If you are, fantastic. You know, some people don't need the Muck-Free Method. Some people have some stuff that they need to unmuck themselves about so that they can move forward into their full glory.
If we're being honest with ourselves, we all have muck.
Everybody does.
Like,
Everybody does.
like, if you can't even admit that, there will be no change, right?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of a cute backstory is I was stuck in the muck on my stuff when I was writing my first book called How to Master Your Muck. And I was stuck because I was stuck in the title. Guess what my working title was? You won't believe it. It was Stuck in the Muck of Your Stuff.
Yeah.
I was stuck in my title. And until I actually hired a coach to see what I couldn't see, she's like, no one wants to be stuck in the muck of their stuff. They want to become the master of their muck. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, ding, ding, ding. Guess what? After 3.5 years, I published my book in 3 weeks when we came up with mastery, right?
Yeah. And we need someone else's perspective, because all of that, the muck is in our blind spot, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't be muck otherwise.
Right.
It would just be a to-do list, and we would just go check, 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 right?
Yeah.
But because we do not see it, that's why we get stuck.
Well, one of my chapters in my first book, How to Master Your Muck, is masters hire masters.
Right.
And the most masterful people in the world hire those to see what they cannot see, do what they cannot do. That's how we become masterful. We don't learn unless we have someone that can do something that we can't do and show us the way, right? Lead us through this. You know, when I published a book, I had a videographer run around and there was a big discussion like, do people know what muck is? And I'm like, well, I'm from Ohio, but I think everybody knows what muck is. So let's prove it. So we went on the streets and we went to this little street fair and we started interviewing people. What's your muck? And I'll tell you, no one missed a beat, and everybody told me what their muck was. And it was all different. Everybody had all different types of muck. You know?
Yeah.
But you're totally right, Monica. We all have it. And we might not even know what it is. We might not even know what's holding us back. We know something's holding us back, but we don't know what it is. And that's how the Muck-Free Method helps, is it kind of puts a whole new perspective on where you're at and what you might need to clear out so that you can move forward. Because, you know, as entrepreneurs, we start our business because we want freedom. But oftentimes our business becomes the noose around our neck, and we're like freaked out and frenzied and working long hours, and we can't do anything. We can't take a weekend off. You know, the Muck-Free Method promises that you can actually take a 3-day weekend without guilt. That's one of the results. You have your tasks cross off your list. You know what you should be doing, and you know what you didn't do, and you know what you did do. Your tasks are crossed off. You have clear thinking, and you're clear-minded, and the muck doesn't keep you stuck.
So the promise of the webinar, for those who attend, when the webinar is done, what will have happened?
You'll have a lot of clarity about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, maybe where you might be stuck. You'll have a better idea of what you might need to put into place systems wise. What are the systems that are broken? What are the systems that are not? What are the systems that serve you? What should you eliminate? You'll just be more clear-minded about your way forward into more of a life of freedom. There's not going to be in 1 hour. It's not going to be the big Band-Aid that does everything. But basically what it's going to do is give you more clarity about where you are with your business.
And how to move forward.
Yeah. And if it's booking a chat with me to explore, or if it's like, oh, I got it, I'm going to go out and do it. That's great. Whatever it is, we just want a clear path forward. That's the goal with the webinar, is to give you more of a overview of your life and your business.
Mm-hmm. So if you're watching this now or in the replay, and you feel like, oh, I have so much stuff I need to do. I know I need to move forward. I know I have a big mission, but it's all kind of, whoa, too much. And you're feeling a little bit lost. Start with this webinar and get some clarity on what are the next steps for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all different. Everybody has different steps they need to take. There's no one way to do anything. As a generalist organizer, I always say that everybody starts at different places. There's no judgment at all. It's just, you are where you are. How are you going to move into what you want? And everybody wants different things too. So it's not, this is where you're going to move. This is what you're going to do. It's like, no, it's like, this is where you are. This is where you want to go. What do you need to remove in order to get there? Yeah. What's holding you back from living your true authentic self, which is why we all started business to begin with. We did it because we were passionate about what we do, right?
So and get out of that shame and the blame game of I'm not moving forward, I'm not doing it right, and just get some help to start the forward movement, right? And that's what I love about Kathi. She's so non-judgmental. We need compassion. We need someone to hold the space for us to make that shift instead of, you don't, right? We go into hiding and then it gets even worse. And Kathi can do that for you.
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. We're all where we are, and it is what it is, and it's not good and it's not bad. It's just whether does it serve you. Where you are, does it serve you right now? If it doesn't serve you right now, let's figure out a different way to have things work out better for you and easier for you and create more freedom. It's about freedom. It's about not having guilt about things left undone. It's about knowing that you're clear-minded and you can do what you need to do in the amount of time that you've given yourself. And then you can take the weekend off without guilt.
Yeah, I love that. So if you want some help, some support and compassion and guilt-free action steps, sign up. The link is in the chat. Thank you, Kathi, for joining me.
Oh, I so appreciate your time. And I'm so appreciative of you streaming this, and I appreciate your help promoting the event. Again, everybody join me. There's nothing to buy, nothing you need to do besides just show up and listen and see if you get something out of it. That's my goal, is that everybody can walk away with a nugget of something that they can take action on.
Yeah. Kathi is here to help you. Join the webinar. Thank you.